Hello, and welcome to this edition of Florida by the Numbers from the Florida Chamber's Political Operations team. I'm Alex Coelho, Director of Data and Analytics here at the Florida Chamber, here to talk about the latest developments across the political landscape of Florida over the past month. And if it's June of an election year, that means legislative qualifying. As you can see, Florida has a very active ballot up and down in 2024, from president all the way down to the more than 2,600 local offices, 6 constitutional amendments, as well as a host of other races. But today, we're going to focus on the races for Florida Senate and Florida House. Normally, there would be 20 Florida Senate seats on the ballot, half of the 40-seat chamber, every 2 years. But with the addition of a special election down in Palm Beach County, we have 21 this year, as well as all 120 Florida House seats. The qualifying period for candidates seeking to be on the ballot for either of these seats was between June 10th and June 14th. Overall, we had 353 different Floridians qualify for the ballot for either Florida Senate or Florida House. 54 in the Senate, and just one shy of what's needed to defend Sparta in the House, 299. While recent Florida elections have trended increasingly Republican, the balance between Democrats and Republicans in terms of candidates remains very purple. We have 173 Democrats who qualified for the ballot, compared to 164 Republicans, along with 11 third-party and 5 write-in candidates. Notably, Democrats qualified a candidate in all 141 races on the ballot for state legislature. This is the first time they've done that since 1996. Although they've attempted this in recent years as well, coming very close in 2020 when they qualified a candidate in all but one of the legislative races that year. And, as qualifying closed, 11 lucky Floridians were elected to office without opposition, 2 in the Senate and 9 in the House, all 11 of these being Democrats. In the Senate, we see former Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith, as well as Palm Beach Commissioner Mac Bernard, elected without opposition, while 9 incumbent members of the Florida House also won when qualifying closed at noon on June 14th. This begins quite a sprint in Florida politics, qualifying ending in mid-June, with the primary set for August 20th, a 2-month sprint to win a party's nomination. And as we look at the races that have developed after qualifying, a number of key contests in both the Senate and House stand out. There are 10 different partisan primaries in the Florida Senate, 5 Republican and 5 Democratic primaries. On the Republican side, the highlight is 3 current representatives seeking a Florida Senate seat. In Senate District 7, over in St. Johns, Flagler, and Putnam counties, current Representative Tom Leake faces a challenge from former St. Johns Sheriff David Shore, as well as Jerry James. While in Central Florida, over in Lake County, Representative Keith Truenow faces Bo & Co., a self-funding businessman from the region. Representative Randy Fine also has an opponent in Chuck Sheridan, although, given the current financial state of that race, we can expect that race is going to be fine. On the Democratic side, a notable development happened during qualifying week, as former Congressman Alan Grayson ended his bid for U.S. Senate, but got to continue to use the campaign swag that says Grayson for Senate, as he filed for Senate District 25, the open seat in Osceola and Orange counties. He'll be facing current Representative Kristen Arrington, as well as activist and wife of current Senator Vic Torres, Carmen Torres, in a 3-way Democratic primary for that seat. Just north of them in Orange County, we have a race between the current Senator, Geraldine Thompson, and her predecessor, former Senator Randolph Bracey, in the one open primary for Florida Senate. An open primary meaning that because only 2 Democrats qualified, Republicans, NPAs, and third-party registered voters will all have their say as well in the August 20th primary to elect their next state senator. And finally, down in Broward County, 3 Democrats are seeking to replace current Senate leader Lauren Book: Barbara Sharif, Rodney Jacobs, and Chad Klitzman, in what is a solidly Democratic seat. As we turn to the House, we have far more primaries, as you would expect, 36 in total. On the Democratic side, there are 14 primaries, while 22 different seats have a Republican primary. There'll be a lot of campaign activity between now and August, but a few of these races stand out. One quite notable one, rather unique in terms of the credentials the candidates bring to the race, is the race for House District 32 in Brevard County, where current state senator Debbie Mayfield runs against former Congressman Dave Weldon for this Florida House seat. Another interesting race, this time on the Democratic side, is in House District 44, a rematch from 2 years ago, when current Representative Rita Harris defeated then Representative Daisy Morales. The two are facing off again, with the roles reversed. And currently, there's no word on whether this will go best 2 out of 3 should Morales win this time. We also have the largest primaries of the 2024 campaign season on the Republican and Democratic sides in the House. In House District 48, in Imperial Polk County, 6 Republicans are currently seeking to replace term-limited Representative Sam Killebrew. Well, similarly, down in Miami-Dade County, 6 Democrats are seeking to replace Representative Christopher Benjamin in another of these open primaries down in Miami-Dade County. Over the next 2 months, the Florida Chamber's political operations team will be closely watching these and all 46 legislative primaries on the ballot on August 20th. The Florida Chamber's political operations team will be doing much more than just watching many of these races, as we will be actively engaged in primaries across the state. Earlier this month, the Florida Chamber released its first round of legislative endorsements, backing nearly 80 pro-business current and former legislators as they seek office in 2024. And additional endorsements will be forthcoming in the weeks and months ahead. Additionally, the Florida Chamber's Political Institute just concluded its 2024 candidate interviews, interviewing nearly 100 prospective legislative candidates at 5 different locations across the state of Florida, along with more than 300 members in attendance. And for more information on the Florida Chamber Political Institute, please contact Executive Director Marian Johnson. As the Florida Chamber looks beyond just the 2024 election to the future of Florida and continuing to develop pro-business candidates for offices all across the state of Florida, we continue to engage in our Florida Institute for Political Leadership, a training course for the next generation of pro-business candidates held across the state annually. For more information on upcoming classes, or to sponsor a class of your own, please contact Andrew Wiggins. And as the Florida Chamber continues to lead the way in uniting the business community to support candidates who continue to promote free enterprise in Florida, please contact our Executive Vice President, Frank Walker, for more information on how you can be involved in ensuring and securing Florida's future. And for any question on some of the races we've talked about today, or anything that's happened across the political landscape over the past month, please feel free to reach out to me at my contact information. And on behalf of the Florida Chamber of Commerce, again, I'm Alex Coelho, thanking you for listening to this month's political edition of Florida by the Numbers.